Good evening, everyone. The time is now 6 o'clock. I'll call the March 24th, 2026 regular meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. I will call for any public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning. Does anyone have any public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning? There'll also be, okay, sir, you on the agenda item? If you,
Mr. Cipriani,
is he here for the public hearing?
About the you'll speak at the hearing portion.
Yeah.
For the Bergeron subdivision. Is that what you're here for?
That will be a public hearing, sir. You will be able to speak at that time. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes from our March 20th or March 10th, 2026 meeting. Also want to add Supervisor Morris will be participating via phone today. She is on the phone here. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the March 10th meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Seconded.
Okay, call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Approval of the bills. Is there a motion to approve the bills?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
And seconded.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 6 on our agenda is public hearing on subdivision and land development plans. Director Waldinger.
Yes, thank you. The first is a subdivision. It's a replot of the plot of survey for John B. and Rosalind A. Bergeron. It's a minor subdivision plan to show the replot of 2 existing parcels, a Lot A and a Lot B, known as 4433 Asbury Road, with no changes to the property lines or acreage, located along the north line of Asbury Road, west of Neptune Street in Tract 331. And at their regular meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this subdivision plan.
We'll open up the hearing now. If there is anyone that wishes to speak on this, sir, come up to the podium.
Good evening, Mike Sanford, 4721 Atlantic Avenue. I'm the surveyor that prepared the plan. And I heard what Mr. Waldinger had to say. The only thing I'll add to that is that we're not aware of any variances or modifications that this plan requires. And so I'm just here tonight to answer any questions you may have.
Supervisor Morris, do you have any, can you hear the speaker at the podium?
Yep, no problem.
Okay. I want to make sure of that. And did you have any questions for him?
Nope, not at this time.
Okay. I don't have any questions at this time.
I do not have any questions at this time. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else that wishes to speak on this matter?
Hi, I'm Dario Cipriani, 4463 Asbury Road. This is my third visit to this assembly room on the same topic. I was here in 2003 when the original subdivision plan was proposed. I spoke up against that because this property that's in question tonight is directly in my sight line looking out toward Asbury Road. With the exception of the Dale property, my wife and I would be the most impacted by this approval for this variance. My understanding is that you're going to move the back line closer to Asbury Road, which brings this property more out in front of my house. I do understand that the chances of me winning this vote tonight are slim to non-existent. The property owner has a right to do whatever he or she wants with his or her property. However, I'm going to reiterate what happened in 2004, April, when Mr. Timpano brought a backhoe onto the property, started plowing out a driveway for himself, left a number of trees stumped, not uprooted, and has done nothing to that property in 20-plus years. As a matter of fact, up until 2 years ago, I went into that property and cleaned out the mess from the winter that water flows into under Asbury Road to make sure that thing flows. There's probably a real good chance that I won't be back to speak on this topic. However, there's been some comments made back 3 weeks ago that Mr. Timpano got some approval for some permits 20-some years ago, which I don't buy. He has done nothing to that property since he purchased it in 2004, except ruin it. If this variance is approved, which I think it's going to be, my issue is we have a water problem there, a big water problem, and I think you know that. I brought some pictures from last week's, may I?
You can come up. Okay, we'll see that Supervisor Morris gets one too.
Those pictures are after the significant rain on Monday and Tuesday a week ago. Picture number 1 is taken from the head of his proposed driveway, looking back into his property. I did not step on his property to go take these pictures. Picture number 2, I took 6 steps left, north, from where I was standing, and took picture number 2. You can see, I lost my pictures, though I gave all my pictures up.
Are you standing on Asbury Road in number 1? Okay.
Yes, I'm
just
on the
wanted to
bike
verify.
path.
Okay,
On
thank
Asbury
you.
Road. Picture number 1, if you look real close in the upper right-hand corner, that's my property. You can see a little outline of a blue siding, and you can see the white around my swimming pool. So somewhere on this lot, as you're looking at it, there's going to be a house there. Picture number 2 is 6 or 7 steps left of where I took picture number 1, and that's what you see, if you look way back into that picture, the start of the whatever you want to call it, stream coming down from water overflow. To the left, there's also water coming down from the Dale property. Picture number 3, I took the same picture from the same spot, only I turned the camera to the left. That's what the property looks like now. Trees hanging everywhere. Nothing has been done, nothing has been cleared. Picture number 4, you can see the accumulation, almost pond-like after this rain. Picture number 5 and 6 are the same pictures. Number 6 is a little bit closer. You can see the pond up edging almost into the Dale property. That's the White House that you see in the background. So whatever happens tonight, which I don't think is going to be very good for me, I just want to make sure that the environmentalists and the stormwater retention people are aware of this problem, which I'm sure they are, and I wanted them to make sure that whatever remediation is necessary, not only to clean this property up and make it look somewhat respectable, because right now it's an eyesore, to be honest with you, but to make sure that that water is treated properly and that the environment is treated properly and that we don't have any future problems down the road. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you currently have similar water issues
No, no.
that, I realize your property is developed and has been for decades?
Yeah, if it really rains hard, there'll be a stream right about on our property line coming down from, there's a pond on that property. Coming down from that pond, there'll be a stream on our property line, but it's really got to rain hard. But it happens.
And, topographically, are you
Up above
much
them.
higher than this
Yes,
property
I'm
here?
looking down on this property.
Okay, okay. And, I mean, it sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're not as concerned with the fact that there may be a single-family home built there at some point, as opposed to the methods that you've seen taking place thus far with some of the clearing of the
That's-
trees that were
that's-
left.
That's very well said, yes.
Okay, I'm not trying to put words in your
He's
mouth, but
done
I'm just
nothing.
trying to,
Nothing. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to take a look at the property, but there's trees hanging. It's going to take a significant amount of manpower and a significant amount of money just to clean that place up.
have you had conversations with the property owner recently about his
No.
intentions? Okay.
The only conversation I had with him was in April, when he assured me that he had a permit to do the driveway. And thank God my wife came down here and marched down here the next day and found out he did not have a permit to do that driveway. And the very next day, he started a burn pile. And the police came to my wife's door, said, "You can't burn here." Said he had a burn permit, which he did not have a burn permit either. And that property has sat like that for 2+ years, almost 2 years now, with wood piles and brush piles and stumps and fallen trees.
I don't know if they're interested in the water on the other side of our house that comes down when we flood the whole entire sidewalk. Is that,
And Mr. Cyprian, I didn't know if our, township personnel have informed you or educated you on, what the process is for Mr. Timpano moving forward.
Yeah.
As far as, land development plans, stormwater management,
Right.
et cetera. If
Right.
you're aware of those stipulations, we won't.
Yeah, I just, I hope I'm being kept in the loop. And I said, I think right now that my property's taken a significant hit in value, looking at this the way it is. And I certainly hope that it's improved. I hope he goes through and builds a very nice house. I'm not going to be real happy with it, but there's not a whole hell of a lot I can do about it. So I just wanted to make sure that my voice was heard.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Thank
to
you for
come
your
in.
time.
Sure. Anyone else wish to speak on this replot? Sir?
My name is Tim Pagano, and I will be building this house for Vince on Asbury Road. And just to assure everybody, we have been going through all the proper, stormwater protocol. We're working with Mike Sanford to have a design. We're well aware of, there could be potential water issues with the pond in the back and stuff like that. We've been talking to Gene. There's no, confusion there. So we are working to address all of that stuff. And talking with Dale's, the neighbor too, about, maintenance of the pond and just prevention. He will be building a very expensive house there. We're not just gonna blindly do it, and have issues for him down the road. So just wanted to assure you guys of that. I can understand, where he's at, but the house is gonna be beautiful, and Vince has owned this lot for, quite a long time, I think 20-some years now. So I think it's just he's hit his time now where he's ready to build there. And he has had permits approved in the past for that property too. So, and just want to let you guys know we're aware of every, potential issues that could come up, and we're working through everything.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank
Yep.
you. Anyone else wish to speak on this? Matt, any recommendations or any, hesitations in the planning department's end on this?
No, not from our end. The Planning Commission did recommend approval. As the plan is presented, the only change that will take place, because there's no changes to the lot lines, so no lot sizes. It would just be the recorded building line for Lot A would be removed, and the owner would be subject to the current zoning setback as far as the front yard. They wouldn't have a recorded setback that they would also have to meet.
That was my next question. So this does not affect the side setback requirements, or he's still subject, obviously, to the requirement of setback from Asbury Road,
Yes.
et cetera. So that does not change. Okay. Okay. Anyone else wish to speak on this? If not, I'll close the hearing and ask for a motion on this.
I will make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Seconded.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear,
Yes.
Supervisor Morris,
Yes.
and I will vote yes as well. Okay, the next on our agenda is a subdivision plan for McDonald's. Director Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, this is a subdivision plan for McDonald's USA LLC. It's a minor subdivision plan to show the creation of a 0.239 acre lot from 2643 West 26th Street, resulting in a residual lot of 1.237 acres. The new lot is to become an integral part of 2640 Zook Road to create a 0.876 acre lot located along the west line of Zook Road, south of West 26th Street in Tract 24. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this subdivision plan.
Okay, I'll open the hearing on this. And Mr. Sanford.
Again, Mike Sanford, 4721 Atlantic Avenue. Up on the screen here, or up on the board, it just shows the subdivision plan, gives a little context to what we're talking about. Basically, McDonald's at 26 and Zook has a little extra land on the south side of their property that they're not using. It's kind of higher on an elevation, and they developed their McDonald's, and we're not touching that at all. But Dr. Imbrogno has the eye clinic there on Zook Road, and he would like a little more parking. So he approached McDonald's and asked them if he could acquire a little vacant land from them. They came to an agreement, and McDonald's is going to subdivide their property, and Dr. Imbrogno is going to take ownership of this strip. So that's what we would call a rear lot addition. And then next month, we'll be presenting a land development plan of a proposed parking lot. But we're here tonight just to simply talk about a rear lot addition subdivision of this piece of property to be conveyed by McDonald's to Dr. Imbrogno. So the only thing that I'm aware of is this needs a depth to width modification. I did submit a letter to the township outlining that request, and we would be at about 3.8 to 1. Because the property, as you look at the map there, it's fairly long east-west. But that's, again, it's the property McDonald's would like to sell, Dr. Imbrogno would like to buy, and it's just would need a depth to width modification.
Yep. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Sanford?
No questions from me.
Okay. Is there anyone else here to speak on this subdivision plan for McDonald's? Okay, if not, we'll close the hearing. We'll ask for a motion on this.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear,
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And I vote yes. We have a land development plan for Westminster Place Partnership. Director Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, so this is a land development plan for Westminster Place Partnership. It's a plan to show the construction of a 9,820 square foot office building for professional services north of 2530 Village Common Drive. Also being constructed are associated parking and stormwater management facilities. This is located along the east line of Zook Road, north of Zimmerly Road in Tract 348. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this land development plan.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
Hi, Mike Sanford.
Who are you again?
Yeah, please state your name.
4721 Atlantic.
We got your address.
So I'm the surveyor that made the land development plan, and it's, as he described, it's basically for professional office building, about 9,800 square feet. We did have to go to zoning hearing board, and we sought and received a variance for the maximum parking requirement. Your ordinance has a minimum requirement and a maximum, but this particular user has a fair amount of employees, so we presented a case to the zoning hearing board and received approval to have a few more spaces than the maximum required, and that's noted on the plan. But we did, of course, submit the required stormwater plan. Your township engineer is reviewing that. We submitted our plans to the Conservation District. They're reviewing those as well. The project will be served by public sewer and public water. We will have two driveways, one from Zook Road that we sought a permit with PennDOT, and then we have one also from the Niagara Village Circular Road as well. So to have two access points. So here tonight, looking forward to your approval.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions.
No questions.
I'll close the hearing. Or is there anyone else to speak on this? Land Development Plan, Westminster Place. Okay, hearing none, we'll close the hearing and ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And seconded.
I have a motion and a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Number 7 on our agenda, we have more public hearings. This is conditional use requests. Looks like there's 5.
Yes, there are 5 requests for 6 different locations.
Okay.
If it's okay with the chairman, we'd like to lump all these together as far as presentation and conversation, and then in the hearing, and
Okay.
then vote on them separately. when
Okay,
the
so
time
we're just
comes.
going to have one hearing for
One.
all of them, and then we will have separate votes. Okay?
Correct.
That sounds good.
So this is a conditional use request. Actually, as I mentioned, 5 requests for the Mill Creek Township School District. They are looking to install signs that include electronic message centers in the R1 Single Family Residential District. Those are permitted with the conditional use in those districts, and so this hearing is part of that. As I mentioned, there are 5 total with 6 locations. Those locations are 2624 West 6th Street, 5300 Henderson Road, 4301 Lancaster Road, 4875 Sterretania Road and 5901 Sterretania Road, and 4330 Westlake Road. All of these are schools within Mill Creek Township School District.
Okay, thank you. We'll open the public hearing on this. Is there anyone here to speak on?
Mr. Chairman, while he's coming up, I should add that at their regular meeting of Tuesday, March 3rd, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of these conditional use requests.
Okay, thank you.
So my name's Mike Galler. I'm the Director of Engineering with the school district. So I just came tonight to answer any questions you had. These are the same signs that you had approved for Chestnut Hill and J.S. Wilson a couple months back. Those are being installed presently. So this is, yeah, they'll be exactly the same size as those ones. They'll replace signs at all locations except for one, which will be a new sign.
That was my question. I know we did approve the Chestnut Hill and the JS some time ago, and there was, no installation of that.
They're working on it presently.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a timetable for these
It'll be done in the summer.
over the summer?
Yeah, and that was part of getting it to you sooner so
Okay.
that we can order the signs and then make sure it gets done in the summer.
Okay.
So-
And these signs are going to be of like nature?
Yes, exactly the same. The only thing will be the brick or the masonry to match the building that it's going to, but otherwise it'll be the exact same size.
Okay. Okay,
All right, I'm good. No
thank you.
questions.
Yep, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. Is there anyone else here wishing to speak on these, on the school district signs? Where are you talking, Jerry? Yes.
Yeah, if I may have misspoke, the ones on Steratania are at 5875 and 5901. That's at Walnut Creek and Asbury schools.
This question just came to mind. So for the Walnut Creek and Asbury, that sign, will these be replacing existing signs?
So at Walnut Creek, it will.
So that
right there
taller one at the
Yes.
entrance?
Yes, we'll replace it with this lower down one. And then at Asbury, we picked a spot off of Thomas Road, where it makes sense, where, cars will be going, so.
Okay. And how about Grandview?
Grandview will be in the exact same spot, Westlake will be in the same spot, and
So that will
Tracy
be
will in the same-
replacing
Yes,
existing?
yep.
Yep, thank you very much.
Yep, no
Appreciate
problem.
it. Okay, anybody else wishing to speak on this? Okay, if not, I'll close the hearing. Mr. Shaw, did you have anything additional?
Just simply, the standard for the board to follow with respect to conditional use standards is that the applicant is entitled to a conditional use as a matter of right unless it is determined that the use does not satisfy the specific objective criteria in the zoning ordinance for that conditional use. Here, the conditions for these message centers is that the use of the property must be a legal use. The applicant must demonstrate that all requirements of section 145-88 are met. And you may, in your discretion, attach such reasonable safeguards as you may deem necessary to implement the purposes of the zoning ordinance. As I understand it from Matt, both 1 and 2 that I just mentioned have been met. And I don't know if the supervisors have any need or reason to place any additional safeguards on this.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll vote on the first one, which is the 2624 West 6th, index 219-005. Is there a motion on that?
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
Okay,
And seconded?
I have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. The next is for 5300 Henderson Road, index 946-001. Is there a motion on that?
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. 4301 Lancaster Road,
I will,
also known as 4305 Lancaster Road, index 376-001.
I will make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next is 5875 Stertania Road and 5901 Stertania Road, index 519-031.
I will make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. And the final one is for 4330 Westlake Road, also known as 4200 Westlake Road, index 103-020.
Make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Okay, Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. That concludes the number 7 on our agenda. We'll move on to number 8. Director Waldinger?
Yes, thank you. This is referral to the Planning Commission for a change in zoning classification for 4850 Westlake Road and 4900 Westlake Road. At the last Board of Supervisors meeting on April 10th, a discussion was held on a petition for rezoning of 2 properties across the street from these. It was recommended that these properties be added to that, and so referring these 2 properties to the Planning Commission to begin that process would be the first step. So we'd ask that you would refer those to the Planning Commission to be heard at their April meeting.
Okay, so we do need to take action on this.
Yes, under the Township Code, the supervisors have the authority to direct zoning changes or proposed zoning changes to the Planning Commission. And the Planning Commission has 30 days then to consider it. We also need to go to the Erie County Planning Department, any ultimate amendments that are made for their review.
Okay. Okay, is there a motion to refer this request for a change in zoning classification to the Planning Commission?
I will
For-
go ahead.
For the two
I will make a
addresses
motion.
listed.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I can make a motion.
Okay,
And I will second that
I
motion.
have a motion and a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Ordinance 2026-2. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, I will take both of these ordinances at the same time, if you don't mind. 2026-2 and 2026-3, they're tied together.
Okay.
The first one, ordinance 2026-2, will repeal and replace Chapter 48 of the Township Code. This is the section that addresses the procedural requirements for enforcement and collection of fines and penalties for violations of the various township ordinances. It also sets forth uniform minimum and maximum fine and penalty amounts applicable to civil offenses and summary offenses. These amounts will be a minimum of $250 and a maximum of $600 per violation on the civil offense side, and a minimum of $250 and a maximum of $1,000 per violation on the summary offense side. Please note that there are certain exceptions to these uniform amounts that are contained in the individual ordinance provisions regulating various activities. The second ordinance is Ordinance 2023-3, which will amend the various provisions of the Mill Creek Township Code to update the enforcement and penalties and to make it consistent with the new Chapter 48 from Ordinance 2026-2. The goal was to simplify and make consistent the ordinance procedures in the township. There's a lot of repetitiveness in the various individual provisions of the ordinance that we eliminated and consolidated into Chapter 48. And both of these ordinances will go in effect upon passage by the Board of Supervisors. The recommendation is to approve both of these ordinances, and I would suggest that the supervisors vote on each of these individually.
Maybe Matt can answer that. When was the last time the fines and penalties was updated? You know, offhand?
I don't recall.
I
no.
was, I'm just curious.
It's,
Been a year or two?
yeah, it's probably been, it's been at
Decade?
least a decade, or it's
Yeah,
probably
it
well
may have-
beyond a
They may
decade.
have come over in this form when we codified in 2016, and
Okay.
who knows before then.
So it was originally adopted, the chapter 48 in 1996, and then amended in 2007. But I don't know if it was a substantive amendment in 2007.
Okay,
There's
Ju-
been minor amendments here and
Right.
there over the years, but not wholesale update.
And just so people at home could hear, 1996, and then amended in 2007. Okay, thank you.
And then there was a separate amendment in 2002 relative to the recovery of attorney's fees. But
Okay, okay.
that was also first adopted in 1996.
96, okay, thank you.
okay. If there's no other questions or comments, is there a motion to approve ordinance 2026-2 and 2026-3 as presented?
I will make that motion.
And seconded?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I also vote yes. Number 11, Attorney Shaw?
Yes, in terms of new and amended ordinances under review, we continue to look forward to finalizing the saldo, and that's the only ordinance presently under consideration. There are a few others germinating, but not quite ready to discuss those yet. They put them both together, so that's fine.
I made a
Oh.
motion for both.
Yeah,
Oh, you did,
that's fine.
okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay.
Okay,
I questioned the same thing. Okay.
Okay, Resolution 2026 R8, disposition of records.
Yes, before you is a resolution to approve the disposal of certain municipal records maintained by the Police Department and the Administration Department that are reaching the end of their retention period under the Municipal Records Manual. Police Department records to be disposed of include MVR BWC footage. That includes test recordings through February 5th of 2026, traffic stops through January 6th of 2026, incident only in special circumstances through April 5 of 2024, and case report, arrest report, SRR unknown types through April 5 of 2006. The Administration Department records to be disposed of include payroll records, timesheets and attendance records, quarterly payroll tax reports, and payroll vouchers and deduction reports from 2018, finance and purchasing records, which include payment register reports, voided checks and bank deposit slips, and cash receipts from 2018, finance and purchasing records, including accounts receivable, invoices, files, and ledgers from 2015 through 2018, and pension plan records, the pension plan data sheets for MMO and annual valuation reports from 2010 through 2015. My recommendation would be to approve the disposal of these records.
Okay, is there a motion on Resolution 2026 R8?
I can make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to
Seconded.
approve and a second. Okay, I'll call for the vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 13 on the agenda, bids and quotations. First one is the ADA website remediation software. I know Director Stutzman is not here. Is there any information on this? Go ahead.
Sorry, yes, we're reviewing, I believe, 2 other sites, still having those meetings, so at this time, we'll recommend tabling.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I wasn't prepared to vote on this yet. So I'll make a motion to table this.
And seconded.
Okay, have a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes to table. Next, we have personnel lockers at the Bell Valley Station. Hello, sir.
Hello,
Welcome.
thank you. Currently requesting approval to purchase 9 personnel lockers for the personnel assigned at the Bell Valley Station. There's no designated storage space for the crews assigned there. This would be for personal gear, uniforms, and work-related items. The cost for this would be $1,490 for the lockers themselves, with shipping of $491.03, with a total project cost of $1,981.03.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the lockers?
I'll make a motion to approve the lockers.
And seconded.
Call for a vote on this. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a traffic truck request. Director Puda?
Yes, I have 3 items in a row. Did you want me to do them all together, or do you want them separate?
Let's do them separate.
Okay,
Change it up.
okay. The first one, the Traffic Department is requesting to purchase a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 3500 HD truck with a crane attachment. This truck is a specialty truck used to haul tools and towed the traffic equipment trailer. A quote was received from Rick Weaver Chevrolet for the price of $107,518 under CoStar's number 025 E26-685. Funding for this purchase will come from the 1-ton dual axle truck line item of the Traffic Department's capital budget. I recommend purchasing this vehicle.
Is this replacing a vehicle or adding?
This one would be adding, we're going to keep the old truck as a crash truck when they're working on the road, as well as it's a 2016 GMC Sierra that they have, and we'll be using that to haul paint for our paint truck.
What's the general lifespan of a vehicle like this?
Well, this is part of the reason why we're not leasing. This is something that we are anticipating to have probably for 10 to 15 years. It's not something that, just like a typical pickup, you use for 5 years and you could trade it in type thing.
Right.
Because this is, like I say, a specialty thing. It's got a crane attachment and everything. There's a lot of upfitting to it.
Yep, and this is for the safety of our traffic
That's correct.
department as they work on different things out in the traffic way, so. Okay, is there a motion to approve the purchase of this specialty truck?
I will make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Sewer truck.
Yes, the sewer department is requesting to purchase a new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD truck with a stake bed and liftgate. This vehicle will replace an existing sewer flatbed truck that is in very poor condition. A quote was received from Rick Weaver Chevrolet for the price of $71,196. Under CoStar's number 025-E26-685. Funding for this purchase will come from the one-ton stake body truck line item of the sewer revenue capital budget. I recommend purchasing this vehicle.
Okay, do I have a motion on this truck purchase?
I will make a motion to approve.
And seconded?
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Hose, machine, crimper, and cutter.
Yes, the Fleet Maintenance Department is requesting to purchase a new hose crimping machine and cutter. This machine will allow the township garage to make their own hoses instead of having to purchase them. This will save the township money and will make 24-hour access to needed hoses. 3 quotes were received, but 2 of the quotes were not complete and had items missing and things added that were not requested. The quote from Kimball Midwest had the correct items on it. The price they quoted was $13,798.57 for the crimper, the hoses, and the hose ends, and $2,682.07 for the saw and stand, for a total cost of $16,480.64. Funding for this purchase will come from the hose-making machine line item of the Fleet Maintenance Department's capital budget. I recommend approval to purchase this machine.
Thank you.
I will make a motion to approve the purchase of the, of the machine.
And I will second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 14 on our agenda, pass-through contract agreement for grant extension, Crime Victim Center from the Police Department.
Yes. Some of the members of our team are at a conference, so that's why they're not here. So I will do this on behalf of Chief Mook. The Crime Victim Center of Erie has applied for funding from the PA Commission on Crime and Delinquency, the PCCD, for grant number 45956, Enhancing Sexual Assault Response Team, or SART. The recommendation from Chief Mook is that, comes from the Crime Victim Center was awarded funding for Mill Creek Police Department in the amount of $6,588. The money will be spent in accordance with the various allowable expenses and costs incurred related to sexual assault investigations. The center has provided a pass-through contract agreement, which requires the Board of Supervisors approval and signature. So I will make that in the form of a motion to approve the the pass-through contract agreement.
And I will second.
Did she second?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 15 on our agenda is the opioid settlement agreement. Attorney Shaw.
Yeah, before you is a proposed settlement with what is called the remnant defendants in the National Prescription Opiate Litigation in the Eastern Division of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio. Under this settlement, the remnant defendants have agreed to pay a total amount of $97,625,000 into a settlement fund for the benefit of the plaintiffs. The remnant defendants are Associated Pharmacies, Inc., American Associated Pharmacies, J.M. Smith Corporation, Louisiana Wholesale Drug Company, Morrison-Dixon Company, North Carolina Mutual Wholesale Drug Company, United Natural Foods Incorporated, and its direct and indirect subsidiaries. The plaintiffs are those government entities that have a population of 30,000 or more in a participating state, and all government entities that actually filed suit in this lawsuit in Ohio. Pennsylvania is a participating state, and the township has agreed to participate in this litigation, having signed off on prior settlements with other parties, and given that it has a population of greater than 30,000, it is a participant in the benefits of this settlement. In exchange for the payment of the settlement amount, the government entities will release all claims against the remnant defendants. The settlement will move forward if will be finally approved. Let me strike that. The settlement will move for final approval if the remnant defendants determine that a sufficient number of government entities join in the settlement. If enough participate, the settlement will be finalized by the court. Otherwise, the agreement would terminate. The money in the settlement fund will be allocated under a predetermined formula after various costs are paid. Once the funds are allocated, the use of the funds is limited to an approved list of opioid remediation uses. The approved list actually consists of a 16-page document that is attached to the settlement agreement, and it includes such things as monies for treatments, prevention, education, training, and research. Locally, settlement funds are administered initially by the state and then distributed to the county. Then the county does the final administration. Under the settlement allocation, just to give you a sense of the type of funding that the county and the city and the township will receive to be administered by the county. Township's allocation is roughly about $250,000. The county is going to get around $7 million. The city's allocation is about $800,000, and the DA's office, their allocation is about $700,000. So this has been there's been a series of these settlements over time. This might be the last one. I haven't seen any indication of, I'm not sure, once you call the remnant defendants, who else is left? But I would recommend approval of agreeing to this settlement and executing the settlement documents as necessary.
Okay, yeah, we've approved these in the past, as you said. Is there a motion to approve this agreement as presented?
Yes, I will make a motion to approve the opioid settlement agreement.
And seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Communications, general communications, Government Transition Committee. My report is we've received 15 letters of interest so far, and the letters of interest are open for another week till March 31st at midnight. Director Waldinger, any further update on the Transition Committee interest?
No, not at this time. That was it.
Supervisor Morris, any update?
Nope, nothing else.
Supervisor Clear, any update?
No, we have some very good candidates, though.
Yes. Yeah, 15 so far. Okay, and we have some CRS announcements.
Yes, I will go ahead and take that. As many of you probably know from previous meetings, we have our Cheers for Peers and the High Five from the Public. These campaigns are to encourage the general public and our coworkers to celebrate outstanding service from those working in public service. If you have noticed a township employee going above and beyond, please take a moment to recognize their efforts by scanning the QR code on the flyer in the back of this room, or you can find links online. So today we want to recognize Melinda Fleming and Amy Jablonski for their kindness, dedication, and for going above and beyond for their community. Melinda was recognized by a resident for helping this resident whose mailbox pickup times were switched, and she offered to put their mail in the township's outgoing basket. So this community member was very appreciative of Melinda, who's always been so kind and helpful to everyone. And that we also have Amy Jablonski. Amy Jablonski is our receptionist at the front. And she was recognized for always being so pleasant and a wonderful person to talk with over the phone. She has been such a great addition to Mill Creek Township. So we are happy to have her. But yes, so we're pretty lucky. We have some good employees.
10-4.
Don't you think, Mr. Bach?
10-4.
That's right. And that is the end of the Cheers for Peers. I do want to add one more thing, though. Tomorrow, we actually have the Mill Creek Township School District. Their life skills class is bringing coffee to Mill Creek Township, this building. Their bean, oh my goodness, their bean cafe, Blue Bean Cafe. Yeah.
Oh, Bean.
Blue Bean Cafe. And they've added us to their mobile coffee delivery, and we are so excited to have them tomorrow. So we had a lot of orders,
Okay.
so
Awesome.
that'll be fun.
Okay, I have some answers to some questions that we had from citizens to be heard last week. We had a question on the proposed Millfair cell tower, if that would be a 5G or 6G network, I guess you'd say, and the answer is the carriers are still very much building out the 5G, and that is the anticipated technology. Should this tower be built on the Millfair property in the future, it would very likely be 5G. The 6G is still a ways down the road, so it doesn't appear the 6G would be imminent at that tower. We also had a question about the number of our full-time firefighters living in Ohio, full and part-time. And we have 32 full-time firefighters, 17 part-time, for a total of 49. 6 of those are Ohio residents, and they are all full-time firefighters, and that includes the chief and the assistant chief. So there are 6 total living in Ohio. The third question was if the township is taking steps to become a smart city. I did some research, and due to my lack of technological expertise, I will refer this to Director Waldinger.
Thank you. Would you like me to address the 15-minute city as well, or is that separate, or can I do?
I thought it was smart city, or was it 15?
I think it was a little of both, and if you don't mind.
Address both if you could.
Yeah, if I could, and I'll try and be brief because I don't want to go too far out. But the 15-minute city concept is a planning concept that the ideal would be to provide places for people to live where they had most of the activities of daily living within a 15-minute walk, bike, or drive. So you would live somewhere where within 15 minutes you could get to your grocery store, you get to your doctor's and haircut and other service appointments, maybe your workplace. It's an ideal to try and make things convenient for people. People have shown they like to live there. Smart city is a concept where you gather a lot of data from sensors placed around the municipality, whether they're on phone poles or data from cell phones and things like that. I do want to note that one of the features of or one of the ways that you can bring about a 15-minute city, a more walkable city, is to use mixed-use development, which is something that we have added in our latest zoning code, and that is, again, just to provide options for people when they're living to have amenities that they can, patronize close by. I do want to also note, just to wrap up, that in none of our publications, none of our plans, whether it's Embrace Mill Creek or the Gateway or any of our websites or communications, have we ever used the term 15-minute city or smart city. It's not something we are necessarily looking for, but especially the 15-minute city is a general concept that is supported by mixed use.
Okay. So I just want to reiterate that currently there's nothing in these stages that would that the township is planning to commit taxpayer funds to initiate this type of technology or
That's
city.
correct. There's no initiatives.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer Communications, Treasurer Page is at a conference, and I don't have anything further on Treasurer Communications. We have a establishment of full-time firefighter eligibility list.
Yes, the department is seeking approval to begin the process for establishing a new eligibility list for position of full-time firefighter. It's exhausted the current eligibility list, so in order to maintain staffing levels and prepare for any future vacancies that may occur, it'd be necessary to initiate a hiring process. What this process entails would be an in-person written examination, followed by a physical agility test to establish a hiring list. This approach would ensure a fair and competitive process while identifying qualified candidates who would meet the operational and physical demands of the position.
Okay, yeah, so this is, just to reiterate, this is to establish an eligibility list, which is very common in police and fire operations to have an eligibility list because it does take time, the process with written exam, physical agility test, background check, et cetera. So this is not an imminent hiring of any more firefighters. We are approving a hiring eligibility list. Do I have a motion to do this?
I will make a
Just
motion.
one,
Oh, sorry.
yes,
sorry,
Supervisor
one
Morris,
quick
go ahead.
question. I just see on our agenda request item there, it says it's requesting it for the meeting date, April 14th. I didn't know if that got moved up to now, if Chief Cliff for some reason wanted to be here to present that himself, or were we ready to move forward with it?
You are correct. I do see that. The meeting date is April 14th. If that's the case, I'm not quite sure why it's in our packet for today, but I'm fine with voting on it today. It's merely to approve the establishment of an eligibility list. I don't know what could change between now and April 14th, so I'm fine with voting on it today.
I'm fine with voting on it today, too. I wonder if Chief Cliff thought it was too late, because we do have a due date where we like, so that Cheryl has time to put the packet together. But our wonderful Cheryl is always so accommodating to everyone and putting everything in, so. But I'm comfortable as well voting on this.
Okay. I think we had a motion on it. Do I have a second?
Yes, I will, oh, wait, I think I made the motion.
You made the motion.
I will second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have more than one training request from the police department. Would you like to handle all of these at once?
Yes, I would
appreciate
love
it.
that,
Go
and
ahead.
I'm going to go quickly. That's okay? All right, the first training request, the National Tactical Officers Association is hosting a 5-day basic SWAT course in Salem, Virginia from 7/20 to 7/24. The course provides basic fundamentals of new SWAT operators. Patrolman Vrenna was recently added to the SWAT team, and Carter Mook is seeking approval to send him to this course. Tuition is $802. Hotel costs are estimated at $643 for 6 nights. Per diem, $442. Fuel costs are estimated at $200. Total costs are $1,285. Next request from Chief Mook. The National Tactical Officers Association is hosting a 5-day training course in team leader development in Hunting, West Virginia, 8/10 to 8/14. The course establishes essentials for new SWAT team leaders. Because of the departure from the SWAT team, Detective Katerna and Corporal Presnar have been named new MPD SWAT team leaders, and I am seeking approval to send them to this course. Tuition is $746 each, totaling $1,492. Hotel costs $828 for 6 nights. Per diem, $442. Fuel costs are $200. Total travel and costs are estimated at $1,912. Sorry. Next training request. The National Tactical Officers Association is offering a course in command decision making and leadership. This 40-hour course is meant for SWAT commanders and is being held online over 5 days, July 7th, 9th, 13th, 15th, and 16th. Chief Mook is seeking approval for the new SWAT Commander Corporal Caldwell attend this virtual course. Tuition is $746. There are no other costs associated with this request. Next request is Mercyhurst University Police Training Academy is hosting a field training officer and leadership course March 26th through 27th in Northeast. PA. The course focuses on modern leadership principles, legal considerations, and practical field training strategies. Chief Mook is recommending Corporal John Drozdowski attend this course. As a newly promoted corporal, he will be one of our field training officers that hasn't attended a formal course in this subject matter yet. The training cost is $195 for tuition. There are no other travel costs, which will be either personal or department vehicle. Next, the Crime Victim Center of Erie County is hosting the third annual Sexual Assault Response Conference on April 9th. The training will be held at Penn West Edinburgh. Chief Mook is seeking approval to send 7 detectives to this conference: Kaczynski, Fallon, Hardner, Mays, Henderson, Bolash, and Gucha. Tuition is discounted at $25. Total cost is $175. The SART grant will reimburse the township 8 hours pay for each officer attending the conference. UPMC Safe Harbor is providing a crisis intervention team training May 11th through 15th at the Merciers Police Academy. The training is free of charge. The lack of mental health services across the U.S. has resulted in law enforcement officers serving as first responders in most crises. A crisis intervention team program is meant to improve outcomes for these encounters. Chief Mook is recommending approval to send police crisis co-responder daily and the following police officers who are all either members of our crisis negotiation team or our peer support officers: Corporal Mikowski, Corporal Sorokas, Corporal Buckner, Patrolman Brocklehurst, Patrolman Nicholson, and Patrolman Meisnick. The Allegheny County Police Academy is hosting a 5-day training from April 6th to the 10th titled Crime Scene Investigation, which will consist of such topics as latent print examination and collection, forensic photography, death scene processing, and hands-on applications. Chief Mook is requesting approval to send Corporal Bolash and Detective Inman to this course. Course registration is $495 for a total of $990. Lodging is estimated at $140 a night. One room for 5 nights, totaling $700. Per diem is $440, totaling $880. Fuel costs are estimated at $25, and travel will be by department vehicle. Total travel costs are $1,605. With that, I'll make a motion for approval of those training requests.
Thank you.
And seconded.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the training request. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have some training requests from the fire department.
Captain, I dare you to do it that fast.
I've only got 3, so.
Oh,
Chief Cliff is recommending the approval of a training request for the Fire Instructor 2 course for Captains Matthew Flack and Gerald Hicken. This will be held through Butler County Community College, April 4th through May 25th. It is going to be online, so there's no travel or any associated fees with that. The cost is $260 per, and that includes all class material, books, and the Pro Board certification test at the end. The second training request is for firefighter Phil Widener to attend a Firefighter 1 prep class and testing through Butler County Community College. The class and testing are scheduled for June 5th and 6th, but they will be held locally at the Perry Highway Hose Company Training Grounds in Summit Township. The total cost for the class and testing is $160, and he will be using township vehicle for travel. Certification is a condition of his employment. The final one is a training request addendum for the FDIC conference. Previously, the training was approved. However, Captains Kennedy and Firefighter Jacobson are wish to attend an elevator rescue class now hosted at FDIC. It was a late addition. The total cost for the class is $650 for the 2 registrants, with an additional overnight hotel cost of $477.36. And then there's been an update to the personnel attending, so I wanted to add it to the record that the revised attendees are going to be Captains Hicken and Kennedy, Firefighter Brad Jacobson, Firefighter Jesse Walker, and Chief Cliff.
You won.
Is there a motion to approve these training requests?
I will make a motion to approve the training requests.
And seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Director Puda?
I have 3 also. The Sewer Department is requesting to send Mark Wells, Keith Lawson, Clayton Cefali, and Eric Pham to the Management Basics Seminar on April 29th from 8 o'clock till 3:30. The class is at the Summit Township Water Authority building. This course will give attendees continuing education credits towards their operator's license renewal. Cost of the course per person is $159 for a total cost of $636, and transportation will be by township vehicles. Funding for this class will come from the training line item of the sewer revenue operating budget. The second one, the sewer department is requesting to send Mark Wells, Keith Lawson, Clayton Cefali, and Eric Pham to the Water, What Will Our Children Inherit seminar on May 5th from 8 o'clock to 3:30. The class is at the Ambassador Conference Center. This course will give attendees continuing education credits towards their operator's license renewals. Cost of the course per person is $159 for a total cost of $636, and transportation will be by township vehicles. Funding again for this class will come from the training line item of the sewer revenue operating budget. And the last one, the sewer department is requesting to have Rick Hoffman, Dan Wingenbach, and Clayton Cefali take the wastewater collection systems exam prep course. This course will be taken by Zoom meetings for 8 weeks with 2 hours of training per week. This course runs from June 2nd to July 21st from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. These employees are planning on taking the PA-DEP certification exam on July 22nd, and this training should help prepare them for the exam. Cost of the training is $930 per person for a total cost of $2,790. Funding for this course will come from the training line item of the sewer revenue operating budget. I recommend approval for all these training courses.
Is there a motion to approve these trainings?
Make a motion to approve the trainings.
Seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Director Waldinger?
I apologize, I only have one. I feel inadequate. I'll try and get my numbers up for next time.
Understood.
PennDOT District 1 is holding a municipal outreach session on Thursday, April 30th at the district office in Oil City. This is an opportunity to meet PennDOT staff and connect with other municipalities throughout the district. Sessions will be held to update attendees on upcoming PennDOT projects and to learn about services that the district offers to local municipalities. There is no cost for attendance, but I am requesting travel permission to take a township vehicle to Oil City for this event. 3 other township employees will also be traveling with me. Those are Supervisors Clear and Morris and Township Project Engineer Chad McConnell.
I'll make a motion to approve this training.
Thank you. I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, I believe we have 2 more training requests. I'll handle these. This is the Erie County Conservation District is hosting a training for writing grants to get funding for dirt and gravel or low-volume roads. As you know, we do not have any dirt and gravel roads in Mill Creek, but we do have low-volume roads. There is no cost to this training. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on April 7th, and that would be for Supervisor Morris, Supervisor Clear, Jeff Tenney from our traffic department, Mike Sornberger from traffic, Chris Brenner from engineering, and Chad McConnell, one of our engineers to attend that. And that's at the Conservation District out off of Wager Road, I believe. And the second one is, in order to get grant funding for low-volume roads, we need someone in the township who is certified in environmentally sensitive maintenance. This is a free training for municipalities offered by Penn State. The next local training will be on April 29th and 30th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Cambridge Springs. And the recommendation is to send Jeff Tenney, Mike Sornberger, Chad McConnell, and Chris Brenner to this training. I will put those trainings in the form of a motion.
And I will second.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
There is some
there anything
good
else?
money. I was just going to say there's some good money available for low-volume roads that we might be eligible for. So I think getting the grant training on that will be helpful.
Okay, very good. Executive sessions were held on March 12th and 19th. discussion of litigation matters related to the opioid settlement and code enforcement matters, real estate matters related to parks and rec facilities and lease of township facilities, personnel matters related to the fire department, and public safety matters related to the fire department and the police department. Also, on the 19th were litigation matters related to the opioid settlement and code enforcement matters, real estate matters related to parks and rec facilities, and public safety matters related to the fire and police department. Attorney Shaw, any further solicitor communications?
Just two short things. One, just to let the board know that the township has completed all the documentation that's necessary for the Penvest loan regarding the Kearsarge Force Main project. And so far, we're on target to have that closing in mid-April, so that hopefully the project can then move forward and get done this year.
Okay,
So
very good.
thanks to all the staff that worked long and hard hours to pull all that information together. So they did a great job. And secondly, I would like to recognize Cheryl Williams for all the work that she does for this township. I don't think people appreciate and understand how much time and effort she puts in to dealing with right-to-know requests and putting all these packages together. So, thank you, Cheryl, for that effort. Just to give an example, I think I got an email from her at like 10:03 2 nights ago with a copy of the package of the for this meeting. So, I mean, she works long and hard hours, and I'd like to recognize Cheryl for that effort. So, thank you.
Very good.
And she puts up with us.
Daily. Okay, student ambassador report. I've been informed that the student ambassadors are very busy with their end of the year school activities, et cetera, so hopefully they'll be at the next meeting. They're not present tonight. Number 17 on our agenda, citizens to be heard. If there's any citizens that would like to speak, they can come up to the podium.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Caleb Sundance, City of Erie. First, I would like to note that I was able to meet last Tuesday with Kylie Morris, Kim Clear, and Carter Mook about the flock cameras as prompted by my request last supervisors meeting. I was disappointed that you were not able to join us, James, but the offer to talk in more detail is always on the table for you and everyone that I talked with already. I greatly appreciate your time. I recognize you all have difficult jobs as supervisors, as police chief, along with officers that back them up. But I'm sure I don't know the full extent. These flock cameras offer an enticing relief from that difficult job. I understand the appeal, genuinely. But sometimes hard jobs are hard for a reason. I was disappointed by the lack of collaboration by some in the meeting and hope that that will change. However, among many other realizations that came from that meeting, I recognize that there are serious misunderstandings about the differences between flock cameras and traditional ALPRs. And if flock safety has misled anyone, I don't think you're to blame. I think it's perfectly understandable, and I hope that you take this opportunity that is before you to recognize that the blame is with flock safety, and I think we will all respect that realization. I will break down in simple steps how the very premise of these cameras are dangerous to everyone, yourselves included. Anything can be hacked. There is no foolproof system in the history of cybersecurity. Anyone saying otherwise is lying. Flock cameras allow real-time tracking on profiled vehicles. If anything can be hacked, and if flock cameras facilitate real-time tracking, the power that these cameras offer is therefore very high. If you want their power, that's the incentive for hacking and gaining access to these cameras by stalkers, criminals, kidnappers, and even foreign entities. Flock cameras are connected to the internet. The internet allows access to pretty much anyone. They do not have to be here to be a threat, and tracking those individuals down would, I imagine, fall outside of your jurisdiction. To give you an analogy to demonstrate how drastically different ALPRs are from flock cameras, it would be like comparing an analog pocket watch to a smartphone. There is a vast chasm between these two things, despite the fact that they both can tell you the time. Besides connection to the internet, one of the biggest differences is how Flock uses AI. AI usage in traditional ALPRs includes optical character recognition, also known as OCR. This is just for enhancing the ability to identify plates, no big deal. General image enhancements, self-explanatory. Basic vehicle classification, identifying make, model, and color. While I personally do not think that AI is necessary for these things, they just identify plates, make images usable by improving light resolution and motion blur, still descriptive and notably not behavioral. Flock cameras, on the other hand, use AI to establish patterns and behavior. It will reconstruct your movement throughout the town and even state to state. This is notably not something that most ALPRs do. While it claims to not keep personal information, this is deceptive framing because they are trying to say that it doesn't store your name, your phone number, etc. However, my entire movements throughout the city, tracking the pattern of my movements, the details of my entire car and personal appearance, is even more personal than my name. You may be surprised to learn that even the people in my personal life do not have a tracker on me 24/7. If these cameras persist, more will go up until you cannot breathe in public without fear that a stalker will be able to find out exactly when you will and won't be home. The AI also allows searches that traditional ALPRs don't allow. For example, Flock, find me vehicles that have a bumper sticker that supports a political perspective that I don't agree with. One last thing that I just cannot for the life of me get over is the fact that these cameras are creating a completely brand new tool for danger. While I hear that these cameras can be used for good, and do believe that they can be, they also open a completely new door to a capability that is literally impossible to exist without the very intentional introduction of them. If these cameras do not go up, criminals would have no way to reasonably install an entire nationwide network of cameras, and we are essentially just handing this to them. I will be around after for any discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. Anyone else wish to speak this evening?
My name's Candy Horm, and I'm here to ask a few questions, but that is a young man who has done his due diligence. I sometimes wish you guys would be that thorough, and ladies. What I have a question on is, well, first of all, Dennis, I wanted to thank you for the soundbite at the governing authority meeting a couple weeks ago. Appreciate it, but I will not mock your beliefs. In Ordinance 2026-2, did you fail to neglect that there will be updates to the attorney's fees? Who am I talking to today?
Me.
Okay. Do you want to ask Mr. Shaw?
What? Okay, ordinance 2026-2.
That you approved today, yes. Because according to the paper, it says provisions for civil and criminal offenses and updates the attorney's fees, provisions related to enforcement actions. But I didn't hear you say that when you were reading what you were reading.
That's not an update of McDonald Illig's rates. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm asking.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, that's,
so what
that's
is
a
the update of
completely,
the fees?
that's a completely separate matter. These are fees and penalties for different violations, animal
who
enforcement,
handles-
code enforcement, different violations that would sometimes go in front of a district judge perhaps, or
So who handles that?
it
No
depends on the
attorneys.
department.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you for,
Anything
The up-
else you want to
yeah,
add?
the update on the fees is if as a result of the violation, we have to go to the Court of Common Pleas to enforce things and so forth, the township can recover the fees, attorney's fees incurred as a result of that.
If there would be an appeal or.
Correct.
okay, and then the other one, for provisions with, having to do with I guess, township enforcement. How is that going to affect? That would be 2026-3.
Right, they're connected.
Yeah, in 2026-3, because we were changing and simplifying the process and trying to consolidate it and make it more efficient, a lot of the various individual ordinances had provisions in there for fines and penalties and, you know, what notices had to be provided and when they had to be provided and things like that. We kind of grouped all of that into Ordinance 2, so it's all in one place, and then they just refer back to that Chapter 48. So that was really the main reason why all the various individual ordinances had to be amended. None of the substance of any of those ordinances were changed. It was simply the process of enforcing them.
Okay. And then my next question, I guess, is for Mr. Puda. But I'll ask you because I have to ask you.
You do.
So you can ask him.
You have a good
So
memory.
you can use my 5 minutes, okay?
Yep.
Where does the capital budget money come from?
For what department, or just in general you're talking
For
about?
purchasing the 2026 Silverado with the crane, the 2026
Well,
Silverado.
that
with
would
the-
come out of the capital budget for that particular department.
But where does that come from? Does that come from our main budget through the township?
I might be able to explain.
Go
So
ahead.
we have approximately $30 million in revenue that we get from income tax and real estate tax. So we balanced a budget and passed a balanced budget in December of 2025 in preparation for 2026. Those items were a part of Mr. Puda's budget that he put together. So we have $30 million in money that comes in, and we only spend $30 million to go out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So
what I-
capital is included in that now. The last 2 years it has been. Before that, it did not.
And then you said I think the one with the lift gate, that came from sewer revenue? Is that a different budget?
That is a different budget, that's right. That comes from the $86.50 per quarter that the residents pay for their sewer rate. So that's a separate fund.
Okay. And I believe that is all I had, and I will still continue to pray for you.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
I am committed to that, and, 1 Timothy 2:1 tells me to do that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other citizens that wish to be heard? Going one,
You didn't have to give me 6 extra
state your
seconds.
name and occupation.
I'm retired.
Jealous, go ahead.
Hey, you ran for the job. You're padding your pension. Let's be serious. Great
Okay.
insurance, too. What?
We don't have enough time to discuss that.
Don't have to discuss it. It's kind of obvious. Jerry's video. Hey, I got to tell you, I've been talking to Chief Cliff, and this is a hard issue for me. But how come there isn't a residency? I was shocked that there are 6 people from Ohio. Now, the chief and the fire chief, okay. Or other firefighters? Is there a residency requirement? At least if you get hired, I talked to Chief Clift, he said something about being an hour away. I don't think an hour away is a very good time limit. I think, I think EPD, you have to be within 15 miles of your EPA to be on that. I'm not sure about the fire department downtown. I fought these people in the back against the manager being hired out of town. He could be hired out of town. He wouldn't even have to live here. It was one of my main sticking points. And to me, this fire department should be for Erie County residents, or if you're going to get hired by this fire department, I believe that they should seek residency here and B, I don't think an hour, I think an hour is too long. If you have a major fire, I don't really think we will in Mill Creek, but at the same time, let's bring some common sense. I'm not gonna stand up here and beat these poor people to death and not have my own feelings on this subject. Maybe they would bring something new, but I think from a good standpoint, I don't know about the state police.
They have a residency requirement that you must obtain a Pennsylvania driver's license and reside within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's,
So that's just a comment from me and the way I presented myself, and I don't want to be two-faced and just sit back there and not say something to that effect. And there's no animosity against anybody that was hired from there, but just, and if it's not an eligibility requirement, maybe it ought to be proposed, and I don't know if that would be part of the contract, correct?
I don't believe it's in the current contract. I don't believe it addresses it one way or the other, but
Going forward, it could be.
I believe it could be. It would be a subject of, I guess, of bargaining, or it's really up to management how they want to address that requirement, so.
Really? That wouldn't be negotiated in a contract?
To be
That would be
honest,
only for that would be for AFSCME employees or the fire union or police union.
Okay.
And I doubt that they would ever put that into the contract, but, I mean, never say never.
How come
But
go ahead.
they-
What do you
that's
think?
So I don't know whether
Yeah.
that's something that's bargaining.
really sure.
I would tend to think it's not, is my guess.
a subject of bargaining.
Yeah, I don't know that that would be something that would be subject to bargaining, but.
So could it be under this eligibility requirement that they're talking about? You're putting it
The
on
list?
paper. Yeah. Could it be part of that? You're testing them.
I think it would be most likely it would have to become from management or administration, and it would have to just be a policy that they put in place.
Well, I'd like to see it pursued. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I know that might sound harsh, but I think people in Erie County, or at least you're going to live here to work here. Thank you.
Thank you.
As soon as we get those people to actually apply for the positions, that'd be great too. That's our problem.
Dennis McAndrew. Sorry, Dennis McAndrew. I didn't specifically say anyone's name, and I didn't think that was very appropriate to call someone out. I think it's hypocritical to stand up here and berate and belittle people and then claim to pray for them.
Okay, sir. Any other citizens to be heard? Hearing none. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
And seconded?
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 We are adjourned at 7:28 PM.
Thank you.